Good morning, Meridian, and welcome to Business Buzz. We're here today at the Meridian Masonic Lodge, and I'm joined by Wayne Ross, the former master, past master of the lodge here in the Treasure Valley. And thanks for joining us today, Wayne.
Thanks for coming down.
Appreciate it. So tell us a little bit about the mission and purpose of the Meridian Masonic Lodge.
So our mission and purpose, basically almost every lodge could have their own mission and purpose, if you want to put it that way. So, but it all falls under the umbrella of what Freemasonry is all about. And that's about, as they say, taking good men and making them better. And that's really emblematic by those symbols that are back behind us, those tools. We, when we bring new men in, we teach them how to use those physical tools in more of a process of self-improvement. So we want to help them become better husbands, better workers, better community members. And then we feel that that trickles out into the community in that realm, in a big general sense.
Okay.
And then for us, particular here, we are involved with a lot of the groups locally in our business community, but also then the high schools that we do scholarships for. So that's our main push at Meridian Lodge 47.
Yeah. So where is Lodge 47 located here in Meridian?
Right in the heart of downtown. Can't miss us. Right off of 2nd Street down here, right by the vault, and just a couple streets over from City Hall. So it's the big nondescript brick building that nobody knows what it is, and are always surprised when they come in and see what it is. Yeah.
So when was this lodge opened here in Meridian?
It was built in 1956 and dedicated in 1957. So they started using it as a lodge building in 1957. It was nothing before that. It was a park with trees, I guess, this whole corner. And it was built specifically for that purpose. So our meeting room upstairs is exactly how it was, and our dining space downstairs, we've had renovations and stuff over the years to keep up. But we have our 2 spaces. The lodge up here, this is where we meet for all of our business meetings, ourselves and the groups that meet here as well, the other Masonic groups that meet here. And then we have our whole downstairs space, which we've renovated to become a commissary kitchen, so people could actually rent it out and use it for parties or their own businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that's something that we've been made more aware of in the last couple of years, is the space down here that you can rent out and utilize.
Yeah, it's, you know, medium, small to medium, we call it. So for people with that size budget who need a place, you know, to get together and do whatever it is they need to do, it's available there. So.
Yeah. And we've used that space down there for some chamber events before. So, so maybe tell us a little bit more about some of the impacts that the lodge has in the community. You've touched on a few things, but what are some of the programs that you're supporting in the community?
Well, our big fundraising every year is for our scholarship fund. We call it Charles Munger Scholarship Fund, and it's for graduating high school seniors, basically for all of the 8OS schools, Keene, Meridian, et cetera. And we do somewhere between $2,000 to $3,000 scholarships each at the end of the year. In addition to that, over the last couple of years, we've also done scholarships for a diabetes camp called Hodaya. So we send one child free of charge to the camp. You know, they're not charged for those, but the back end cost of what it costs to go to camp for a week. So we do that as well. And we've struck up a good partnership over the last year with Treasure Valley Community Theater, who used to be downtown Meridian a lot more, and they moved their space to Boise. But they are still now doing an after-school program here, 3 days a week, right before any of the lodges get together. So we're getting them in to use our big open space downstairs for the kids to practice and have something to do right after school. So that, in addition to, you know, we'll do any of the different kinds of events that we see. We've done like security at the Christmas parade, making sure people don't walk out in front of the floats, and, you know, different things like that. And then just always trying to, you know, keep up with all of our business partners and, you know, and keep good communications with them. That to me is huge for something like us, a nonprofit. For people to know who we are and what we're doing is very, very important. So.
Yeah, no, doing great work in the community.
Thank you.
Why should someone join the lodge, and maybe give us some specifics about what you go, how you go about doing that?
Yeah, so They always say the easiest way is to knock on the door, and that's the way. I mean, there's multiple ways online for people to find information specifically about us in Idaho. And then depending upon where they live, they could be sent to a specific lodge, depending upon zip code, kind of thing like that. And then they can meet us. They can come down, come to dinners that we have before our monthly stated meeting, or they come to events like Oktoberfest, where we had about 30 tours that we gave. People wanting to come in and see, because everybody thinks it's so mysterious, right? But it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's only closed at those specific times, kind of a thing. And when I'm communicating to guys and women, et cetera, because we do have the joint organizations. But what we do here specifically, Meridian 47, is a fraternal organization only. So it's men only on that side. And it's generally going to be somebody who already had some kind of a family connection, had a lot of interest, saw some crazy movies. It's going to fall into those three realms. And then we can just sort of have those conversations from there. But it always revolves back to that idea that I stated earlier about, helping men in our community to build themselves into another style or another kind of a format, and it doesn't have to do with any political groups or religious groups. We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion. But we believe in those tools up there and those statements: brotherly love, relief, and truth. And by showing that and teaching somebody else that, they can teach somebody else, and it can just, sort of develop as it goes over there.
Good men doing good work in the community.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And it's not always the same focus, and we are a huge variety. This is a very younger leaning lodge for its time. I mean, Freemasonry's been around since the late 1600s, early 1700s. If you can find the recorded history, there's 6 million members worldwide. So they don't all look, talk, and act like I do and stuff like that. So, and that's another huge thing is the brothers that you get joined up with here, you probably would never have met elsewhere. You probably wouldn't come across them in your work necessarily and things like that. So it's a real commingling of all different types, all here for the same specific reason. Yeah.
So what's the best way, Wayne, for someone to find out more about the lodge and maybe decide to learn more?
Yeah, well, the best way is actually the website, meridianlodge47.org, because our doors are not open all day, because we're not that kind of a business. But more often than not, too, if you see the door open, walk on in, because we've got something going on that it's okay to be around and stuff like that. But the website is usually the quickest way. We have contact pages on there and stuff like that. And we have a phone number that they can leave a message with. And we're very good about being very prompt. That's a huge, in any kind of business. Yeah. If somebody's calling you up, give them that courtesy. Return the call, kind of a thing.
Yeah. So, well, Wayne, thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm glad we got to learn a little bit more about the Meridian Masonic Lodge.
Thanks for coming down.
The things you're doing in the community.
Yeah, we're an open book most of the time.
Most of the time. Yeah. Thank you very much. Meridian business members, we've got a couple things coming up in the next couple weeks for you to be a part of. We do have our First Friday event coming up November 1st. It's going to be held at the Holiday Inn Express here in Meridian. And then tickets are still on sale for our annual gala, November 7th. Be sure and get those tickets and come out to our annual gala fundraising event. Until then, have a great weekend, Meridian.